Golden.
From Washington, Maine's Republican Senator Susan Collins says she will vote to confirm Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson, all but assuring Jackson will become the first black woman on the Supreme Court. Correspondent Scott McFarland is on Capitol Hill.
This is immediately a big win for the Biden administration, which very much wants vote on confirmation. In her statement this morning, Senator Collins says, quote, Judge Jackson has sterling academic and professional credentials. She was a Supreme Court clerk, a public defender, a respected attorney, and a member of the Sentencing Commission. Now the question is, will other Republicans follow suit?
To the war in Ukraine. Video released by Russia's defense ministry shows drones on combat duty over Ukraine as the Kremlin claims there has been no breakthrough in talks that were supposed to resume in Turkey today. Western officials warn Russia is regrouping after its troops were rebuffed in Kyiv. The UN Refugee Agency's Alex Munt said Ukrainians have now fled their country.
It's hard to describe what 4 million people totally traumatized by war looks like or feels like, and what it means for their future when 6 weeks ago they were living a completely normal life and now they're completely uprooted.
The government says the U.S. economy expanded at a healthy pace of 6.9% in the fourth quarter. That is down slightly from previous estimates. An independent study in the U.K. finds hundreds of babies died needlessly in a single hospital system.
As the infant and prenatal deaths mounted at the Shrewsbury and Telford Trust, administrators ignored parents who tried to call attention to a practice.
We now know that this is a trust that failed to investigate, failed to learn, and failed to improve.
Investigator Donna Ockenden says more than 200 babies died needlessly through incompetence or through a near fanatical insistence on natural childbirth, even when medical evidence suggested that would be harmful. Vicki Barker, CBS News, London.
Amid the turmoil in Ukraine.
Touchdown confirmed at 6:28.
2 Russian cosmonauts and a NASA astronaut, Mark Vande Hei, landed in a remote area of Kazakhstan in a Soyuz capsule today after spending a record 355 days at the International. Could Tiger Woods make a comeback at next week's Masters? ESPN says he played 18 holes with his son in Augusta. CBS Sports' Kyle Porter.
Tiger can't realistically believe that he's at the 2022 Masters to win because he's had so much time off. It's more of a, hey, I'm jumping back into this if he does play.
This is CBS News.
There's always something new under the sun. CBS Mornings, weekdays on CBS.
What's the most important part of a retirement plan?
Income is king because we all need income. And if you don't have an income plan, you don't have a retirement.
Ray, financial coach at Insight Folios. Kevin tells his listeners every week about the importance of income planning, minimizing taxes, and strategies to lead a worry-free retirement. Learn all about that and get your own complimentary financial review by calling 888-885-PLAN. That's 888-885-7526.
Where are those receipts?
Tax day is nearly here,
I held on to those.
and Chanel is stressing.
Why do I always wait to the last minute?
Her small business needs a bookkeeper to crunch some big numbers.
All these spreadsheets make my head spin. None of this adds up.
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed platform instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
If you owe the IRS back taxes, then get ready to pay up. The IRS has giant private collection agencies actively tracking down folks who owe the IRS. So if you think dodging them was stressful in the past, it's going to get a whole lot tougher. Optima Tax Relief has this advice. Don't wait. Solve your tax problems now before it's too late. Optima Tax Relief works to stop the demand letters, stop the aggressive collection actions, and stop the IRS collectors from targeting you. Ask Optima about the fresh breaks the IRS has ever offered. If you qualify, you could save thousands, and nobody knows this program better than they do. Optima is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, and they get results, having resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. Get a fresh start. Call today for your free consultation.
Call 800-364-9188. 800-364-9188. 800-364-9188. Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
It's 34 degrees at 9:05. Good morning, I'm Dave Maurer. The Saginaw County Prosecutor's Office says to avoid the appearance of impropriety, it will likely turn an investigation into alleged excessive force used by a Michigan State Police trooper or General's Office for review of potential criminal charges. WSGW's Ann Williams has more in this report.
State police are conducting an internal investigation into the incident, which happened when troopers pulled 47-year-old Vance Martin of Saginaw over for a traffic stop about 7:15 p.m. Monday in the area of 17th and Ansley. Others at the scene recorded the incident, which has been posted and shared on social media. It shows Martin being punched multiple times in the face while handcuffed. He was treated at a local hospital before being taken to jail on charges including assaulting, resisting, or obstructing police and operating while intoxicated. Martin was not arraigned on the charges and was released Tuesday. State police say department policy specifically prohibits use of force that is objectively unreasonable or excessive in any scenario. The trooper involved has been suspended until the investigation is complete. Ann Williams, News Radio, 100.5 and 790.
In honor of child abuse, Can Council and Michigan Sugar have partnered to present events and activities to engage the community. Child Abuse Prevention Month is a nationwide initiative that challenges communities to examine the impact of child abuse and what can be done to prevent it. Starting April 5th and continuing through the month, several programs will be available to the public for participation, including presentations on better parenting, internet dangers, and more, ending with a Can Council's annual pinwheel planting on April 21st. For more information and a full schedule of events, call the Can Council, or you can visit cancouncil.org/2022 CAPM. The Saginaw Transit Authority Regional Services is hoping the city approves its request to use an abandoned facility to store some of its new incoming fleet. STARS has ordered 19 new buses, and its current facility at North Warren and Johnson does not have the space for all of them. The agency and Recreational Center at North Warren and Wadsworth, hoping to utilize the parking area for some of its vehicles. Officials say the facility could also become a paratransit center for lift operations or a new training base. The decision on using Civitan rests with Saginaw City Council, which will examine the issue Monday. The request for the Civitan Center follows STAR's request to purchase the old Potter Street train station for use as a bus transfer station. STARS has applied for American Rescue Plan Act funding in order to expand in either location. WSGW News Time, 9:08.
Keep the Saginaw Children's Zoo in mind while you're shopping for special gifts this year. Visit our website to purchase a membership. Make it a wild year and bring a gift from the zoo to your little ones. Stay connected to what's happening at the Saginaw Children in our website at SaginawZoo.com.
Saginaw Children's Zoo. How do you do?
Increase your home's value with Owens Corning shingles and save 11% on everything. Now at Menards. Owens Corning architectural shingles have a limited lifetime warranty and can withstand up to 130 mile per hour winds. Choose from over 60 styles and colors available now in store or online at Menards.com. Save big money with 11% off everything at Menards. Good through April 2nd. Savings are mail-in rebate. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Save big money at Menards.
WSGW News Time, 9:09. A Tuscola County educator known for being a role model to her students has received an Excellence in Education Award from the Michigan Lottery. Miranda Johnson is a teacher at Carroll Alternative High School, part of Carroll Community Schools. Johnson said her desire to help others propelled her to a career in and as an alternative high school graduate, working with those students was a no-brainer for her. A former student nominated Johnson for the award, citing her ability to set a positive example for her students. Johnson has been an educator for 11 years, the last 5 in her current position. The Michigan Lottery established the Excellence in Education Awards in 2014 to recognize outstanding public school educators. Winners of the weekly award receive a plaque, a $1,500 cash prize, and a $500 grant to their classroom, school, or school district. One of the weekly winners will be selected as the Educator of the Year and will receive a $10,000 cash prize. It's an interesting look at migration habits of Americans last year from the website Hire a Helper. Jackie Page reports.
2021, more than 280,000 people moved from the East Coast to Florida alone. The villages in Sumter County, Florida, saw the largest gain among U.S. cities. More people move in than out. New York saw people moving back to the Big Apple, rebounding from the mass exodus of 2020. 86% more people moved to New York City than left. The Great Resignation is real. It saw 19% of Americans who moved in 2021 blaming the pandemic for making them reassess their priorities and quit their jobs. And in total, between 17% and 21% of Americans who moved at all in 2021 said they moved because of COVID-19.
When you see news happening, call the WSGW newsroom at 752-0790. It's 9:10. I'm Dave Maurer.
Here's your WSGW weatherology. A winter weather advisory continues. Mixed precipitation or perhaps even just some freezing rain in the area early today, gradually becoming all rain. Some ice accumulation is possible very early. Highs will top out near 57 degrees. South-southeast winds will be breezy, 10 to 20 miles per hour. Tonight, it remains breezy, rain likely mainly after midnight. Temperatures hold steady right around 57 degrees. And then Thursday, still breezy with more rain mainly through the early part of the afternoon. Temperatures hold steady or fall in the region. I'm Phil Jensko with the WSGW weatherology forecast.
Right now, it's 32.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions from around your block to around the world. The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW. Online, WSGW.com.
Well, good morning. And welcome to another edition of the Art Lewis Show from my Saginaw Spirit Home studio, brought to you by Linda Shepard, Pinnacle Realty. Give her a call, 989-295-7713. That'll put you in touch with Linda, have her go to work for you, and help you with your real estate needs. Located in the Point, M46 and M47. In Saginaw Township, where you'll also find Cafe 476 and delicious soups, foods, beverages, all waiting for you there. We're going to do a number of things this morning. Later on this hour, there's a new sports book at Soaring Eagle Casino we're going to talk about. After the 10 o'clock news, we're going to talk about sleep deprivation and the changing of times, daylight savings time, etc., with the doctor from Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan on Focus Westside Decorating. But for this hour, we're going to start by talking about a shipwreck that is 130 years old and was just found not too long ago. And we're going to learn about it from someone from the Great Lakes Shipwreck Historical Society, where he directs communications. And we say good morning to Corey Adkins. Corey, good morning.
Hi, Art. How are you?
We're doing well. Thanks for joining us this morning. So,
my pleasure.
I have a number of questions. I'm a model shipbuilder, so I kind of have an interest in this stuff. But the thing that in reading about the Atlanta, as my understanding, and correct me if I'm wrong, the Atlanta was a barge. Is that right? It was towed?
Yeah. Yeah, it was a schooner barge.
It was a schooner barge, but what I didn't understand, it's a three-masted ship. Why didn't it have its own power? Why did it need to be towed?
Because back in that day, the steamships were faster.
Okay. So
it was faster to tow. So 1, 2, sometimes 3 schooner barges behind a steamship.
Got it. So 130 years, which is a long time to be undiscovered. Were people actively looking for it, or was it discovered by accident?
Yes and no. It was so there's a lot of shipwrecks on the bottom of Lake Superior, Shipwreck Coast. There's 200 to 300 of them lying down there, and many of them aren't discovered. So we do have a research vessel that we send out every summer, and our director of marine operations, his name is Daryl Ortel, has been plotting these grids, and he just goes back and forth, kind of mowing the lawn of Lake Superior, and in hope of a target on our sonar. And last year, he was kind of on fire because this wasn't the only shipwreck he found, but this was one of the blips he saw in that sonar. And when we sent our ROV down and, and confirmed it was a shipwreck, and then when we saw that name board, the Atlanta, we knew it was the Atlanta, which hasn't, as you said, hasn't been seen in 130 years.
So when he saw the blip on his radar, he had no idea what ship it was.
No.
So you didn't know that till you sent down the device. Well, this was also my understanding. This was last year. When was this officially discovered?
It was in August. I don't know the exact
August,
date, but it was in August of last year. Yeah.
Which begs the question. Go ahead. Which begs the question.
We need relatively.
Yeah. Go ahead. You go first. Go ahead. You answer your question.
All right. I was like, we need relatively calm seas to do this. And so, Lake Superior, even in August, can give you a butt whooping.
Yeah. Yeah. No doubt about it.
Yeah.
So does that account for the delay in releasing the discovery? Because it's quite a long period of time before you finally came out and said, look what we found.
Well, we like to do our due diligence and look at all the video and get the story together and such. And earlier this year, we released 3 other shipwrecks we found as well. So we don't want to, better term, we don't want to cause shipwreck burnout because last year was a very weird, successful year for shipwreck hunting. There are years we're out there and nothing gets discovered. We've gone a few years at one time without anything being discovered. But last year it was just like, wow, man, Daryl, you're really killing it this year. So it's incredible to see those vessels that hasn't been seen in years and years.
Yeah, you must know, Rick Mixter.
He's on our board.
Yeah, I know. We have him on once in a while talking about this very subject. Tell us a little bit about the Great Lakes Shipwreck Historical Society.
Well, it was formed back in the 70s, and the founder, Tom Hornquist, and a group of his friends just loved going out diving. Back then, you could go down and you could actually take things off of wrecks and things. So they started to acquire all these artifacts. And back then, also the lighthouse up at Whitefish Point was abandoned, and it was had vandalized, and the windows were out and such. So they asked the government. They came up with an agreement with the government to use the place for a museum. And that's where the Shipwreck Historical Society was born, all the way, back in the late 70s, early 80s. And then, ever since then, we've been growing and growing and growing. And now we're a world-class museum.
When did we, as a society, wake up and say, wait a minute, we shouldn't be taking stuff off these ships? And how much did the Edmund Fitzgerald have to do with it?
That was back in the lands agreement was signed. And that was just because people were going down and just basically collecting treasures and keeping them in their home.
Right.
There are a lot of artifacts out there. I don't know how much the Edmund Fitzgerald had to do with it because that wreck is so deep, divers can't get to it. I mean, even to this day, you'd have to be pretty crazy to dive the Fitzgerald, even though it's illegal. So there is that. But we do have an artifact from the Fitzgerald, the bell, which we did cut off in 1995 with permission from the family members and the Canadian government. So that is one of the artifacts we have in our museum.
That's something that needs to be understood too. When you operate on the Great Lakes, particularly the Great Lakes that are shared with Canada, you have to follow dual rules. You've got to follow American rules and Canadian rules. Are they very different?
Not well. I don't know if I can honestly answer that question. All I know is Canadian rules are a bit different. When that happened in 1995, we had to get permission through the Canadian ministry. And we probably wouldn't have got that permission without all the family members saying, yes, we do want the bell raised. So we have somewhere to go and honor and remember our family member.
Canadian government obviously said yes back then.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Hang on, Corey. I want to take a break. We come back. We'll talk about some of the other things happening with the Historical Society and some of the other shipwrecks that have been found, but they did find the Atlanta. And we'll talk more about that, too, because it's an interesting survival story. All of that is ahead on the Art Lewis Show.
When state bureaucrats threaten doctors over their COVID treatments, Representative Annette Glenn backed the bureaucrats down. Dr. John Fenninger said Annette Glenn's actions, quote, may have saved many lives. Paid for by Annette Glenn for State Senate.
The YMCA is just a starting line, for the true self blooms only when we find our purpose, what makes us tick below the surface. My why is a safe space in my community, living with sincerity, giving every day my everything. With my why, I stand strong, seen and supported all along. It's a million faces in a mirror and everyone belongs. Find your why. Learn more at ymca.org for a better us.
Whether you're in business or in school, Staples has your tech.
How about wireless headphones so I'm not tied to my desk?
Staples has your tech.
A tablet for when I travel by train?
The latest laptop for a soon-to-be summa cum laude?
Staples offers tech solutions and accessories for learners, small business, and remote workers too. From the latest laptops to networking solutions. And Pro are just $199. You save $50. The latest tech solutions are at Staples, the working and learning store. Ends 4/2. Limit 2 while supplies last.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/.
I'm Elizabeth McDonald, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Our economy grew at a rate of 6.9% in the fourth quarter, according to the final read of the GDP. That is weaker than expected. Payroll processor ADP has just released some key private sector employment data on jobs created.
455,000, so just above the estimates from economists for March ADP. I want to say, going to this report, there was a lot of question marks because the range was so broad. We had seen some economists expect 250,000 jobs. Some are saying 650,000.
Charlotte Business Network. This ahead of the big monthly jobs numbers out on Friday. And a former Yale administrator stole $40 million from the school, pretending to buy computer equipment for the university. Instead, she got a fleet of luxury cars and several houses. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Lillian Wu, invested in you.
When it matters, companies need more than just a delivery service. Cintas delivers full service and the reliability that comes with having a dedicated Cintas service rep who understands your business, which means they deliver confidence and peace of mind too. For uniform, mats, first aid and safety supplies, and fire protection services, discover the personal attention you get with Cintas.
Oh, I'm ready!
Visit Cintas.com and get ready for the workday.
RocketGrabPlus.com. Why are you paying full price when you know that you can save money at RocketGrabPlus.com? You can check out our deals right now from Salon Blue Day Spa and Boutique, 120 Fitness, Uplift Creative Center, Woody's Hot Dogs, Wonder Burger, King's Fish and More, and the Hamptons Boutique Tanning and Salon. Half off? Yeah, it's true. And it's all at Rocket Grab Plus.
GrabPlus.com. You probably wouldn't leave thousands of dollars on the table at a diner. Why leave thousands on the table with your tax return? Jackson Hewitt will help make sure you don't. This year, there are thousands of dollars worth of new tax credits. Your Jackson Hewitt Tax Pro will help you track down every last one, so you get your biggest refund guaranteed. Don't leave thousands on the table this year. Discover thousands of dollars in tax credits instead. Learn more at jacksonhewitt.com.
Ground ball base hit into left field. Into score comes Castro. Akil Baddoo delivers it.
Down is on. 9 days until opening day. Your home for Detroit Tigers baseball is WSGW.
Hi, we're back with you here on WSGW, the Art Lewis Show, talking to Corey Adkins, who is the Communications and Content Director for the Great Lakes Shipwreck Historical Society, that announced last Thursday that they have found the wreck of the schooner barge Atlanta in Lake Superior. Corey, where does the wreck sit? Where was it found?
It was found halfway between Deer Park and Chris Point. So a very remote location. If you've ever been up to Chris Point, or even, where the Two-Hearted River goes into Lake Superior, that was where the Deer Park Life Saving Station was. So right in between those two places.
How deep is that water?
It's in 650 feet. So it's about 25, 30 miles out and 650 feet of water, which is pretty deep,
to say the least. So there is a what started out to be a good news, turned out to be not so good news survival story that goes along with this barge. Tell us about that.
Well, the Atlanta was in tow from a ship called the Wilhelm, and that was on May 4, 1891. A bad May storm brewed up, and the tow line snapped. Now, the Atlanta did not have an engine; it didn't have its sails up, so it had no power to battle the storm. So, without power, you're at the mercy of Lake Superior. The Wilhelm couldn't do anything to help them, so the Atlanta and its 7 crew were on their own. So it started to drift towards the Chris Point Life Saving Station, and by the time they tried to keep pumping the water out of the vessel, and by the time they got to the point where they knew the Atlanta was not going to be saved, so they had to get into a lifeboat, and they started to row towards shore, and right then the Atlanta sank. So they started to row to the shore. All the 7 crew members, there was 6 men, 1 woman. As they were rowing into shore, the lifeboat capsized, and they lost 3 members there. They just got swept out into Lake Superior. The other 5 got onto, the other 4 got back onto the lifeboat, and it capsized again, and they lost the other 2. So there was a gentleman called Eli Waite and John Pickle were the 2 survivors of that. One of the sad things was the watchman at the Chris Point Lighthouse actually thought it was an overturned log, and what he was actually watching was a capsized vessel with people hanging on it. So they didn't activate the life-saving station in time, but a bystander was walking the beach and saw that there was an overturned vessel to the life-saving station, activated the crew, and the lifesavers went out there and saved Eli Waite and John Pickle.
Yeah, it's kind of
the other 5 were just swept out into Lake Superior.
Yeah, it's kind of a sad ending, because the 7 had actually saved themselves off the vessel before it sank, heading to shore,
yeah.
and then to lose themselves on the way to a life-saving station. It's kind of a sad, Sad story. So
it's very ironic too. I mean, you're in a lifeboat near a life-saving station, and 5 of you die.
Yeah, yeah.
I've never thought.
So let's talk for a bit about some of the other things happening with the Great Lakes Shipwreck Historical Society. I mean, the Atlanta is in the news right now, but what else is going on? What other discoveries are forthcoming?
Yeah, we have 6 other targets we need to send our ROV down on this year that Daryl did find last year. So we have targets. We have sonar images of there's definitely something. There's definitely a shipwreck. We just don't know what they are because we haven't sent the ROV down there to identify it. So we got a lot of work to do, to do that. So it's going to be a very busy year. And as you know, as we find out what these wrecks are and get the story behind them, we're going to release those because these stories need to be told. These people's lives need to be remembered.
Is there there must be some kind of master list of every ship that's been lost on the Great Lakes, discovered or not discovered?
Yes, there is. And there's still a lot of undiscovered.
Which is pretty amazing because there's a lot of people looking.
Yeah. Well, not as many as you think, but there are people that are doing grids. There's people that just go back and forth on Lake Huron, and there's another team that would go back and forth on Lake Michigan, and we're going back and forth on Lake Superior and such. There are other people out there. It's insanely expensive to do. Luckily, we have money budgeted for this, but there's not as many people as you'd think.
Where does the Shipwreck Historical Society get its money?
Mostly from our museum admissions. We do have a gift shop up there, and we do get grants. So we have quite a few visitors a year.
And tell everybody again where the museum's located.
It's up at Whitefish Point. So if you're headed up towards towards Sault Ste. Marie and you want to go visit us, or maybe it's Quamanon Falls, you'll take a left on 123, and it's about an hour north of the bridge.
Oh, it's not that bad then. Not that far.
No, and it's a beautiful drive. It's just a beautiful drive through wilderness, and you can just your imagination can take over on what.
And
back then,
what kinds of things would we see at the museum? What's in it?
So in the museum itself, we do have an exhibit on the Edmund Fitzgerald, which most people go there to see. They want to see that bell, and they want to see what was found from the Fitzgerald. But then it's interesting because I like to sit in the museum and just watch people sometimes. And as they go through the museum and they start reading the stories of other shipwrecks like Superior City, 28 men died on that, or like the Osborne, all these stories are just fascinating, and they realize, wow, there's a lot of other stories of shipwreck and survival out on the Great Lakes. It's not just the Edmund Fitzgerald.
That's the one everybody knows, but the Great Lakes are huge bodies of water and have had, I would have to guess, hundreds and hundreds of shipwrecks over the years.
Yeah, over the 5 Great Lakes, there is the conservative estimate is 6,000 wrecks and
6,000
lives lost. Yeah.
Wow.
On all 5 Great Lakes, yeah.
So I'm going to assume, it's a bad word, but I'm going to assume that in our technological age, given the nature of equipment today, that the job of finding these wrecks is becoming easier.
It is. It's the time and the money to go do that. We do have some new technology coming. Hopefully that will help us find more of these wrecks out there and be able to tell the stories, because that's, in the end, that's our mission, is to tell the stories of the shipwrecks, the lighthouses, and all the Great Lakes. Fascinate people when they come up to Whitefish Point and look out onto Lake Superior and let your imagination go.
And what role has side scan played in all of this?
So that is how we identify where the blip is. We are partnered with a company called Marine Sonics Technology, and that's the sonar we use. So Daryl last year, our director of marine operations, he did over 2,500 miles of mapping the bottom of Lake Superior with that sonar unit. So imagine being out there shipwreck hunting can be incredibly boring mixed with just awesome euphoria when you find one.
Yep, I imagine that's true. Yeah. What kind of hours does the museum keep?
10, 6, and we open on May 1st, and we close on October 31st.
So
7 days a week.
Good summer trip, sounds like.
Oh yeah.
Well, Corey, listen,
people are amazed at our beach and the rock hunting, and it's just a fun place to go.
Well, we appreciate your time this morning and talking about the Atlanta and the story of the museum too. Do it again down the road. Maybe we'll see you this summer. You never know.
No, that'd be great. Thanks, Art. Appreciate it.
Corey, you're welcome. Thanks for calling. Bye-bye now. Corey Adkins, the Communications and Content Director for the Great Lakes Shipwreck Historical Society, recently discovered the remains of the Atlanta. A schooner barge sank 130 years ago at Lake Superior. And the story's just endless. I mean, the story of survival, and 2 people survive, 7 get off the ship in a lifeboat and on their way to being saved, and 5 of them don't make it to shore. And these kinds of discoveries of these shipwrecks brings the story more to life and helps honor the memory of those that were lost at sea. We'll take a break, come back. We're going to talk about Sportsbook here in a few minutes with Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort. We'll tell you more about that in a bit.
Welcome to the trees. Frankenmuth Aerial Park is gearing up for the 2022 season. Here's your chance to come and work in this exciting outdoor industry. They're now actively recruiting for park monitors, park host, and park supervisors. These jobs range from entry-level supervisory roles and come with fantastic perks, fun people, and room to grow within the company. Click on the Gold Now Hiring button and find all the specific information about these opportunities at zipandclimb.com.
As a Blue Cross Medicare member, managing your medications from home is simple. With our plans, you can get the medicine your doctor prescribes from your local pharmacy or even delivered by mail. For the trusted care you need and want, Blue Cross will be here with more convenient ways of getting it. Like we've been for more than 80 years. Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan. Confidence comes with every card. To learn more, visit bcbsm.com/senior options.
It could be the best years of your life. In retirement, you'll finally get to do what you want to do. But you have to plan for it. Start by tuning into Mindy and Nolan McIntosh of McIntosh & Associates every Sunday at noon for Wealth Michigan with the McIntoshes. Make retirement the best time of your life. Tune in Sundays at noon for Wealth Michigan with the McIntoshes. Firm offers insurance services. Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
We're planning a trip to Spain later this year.
But our Spanish
is pretty bad. So we're using Babbel.
Babbel's conversation-based method, words and phrases. And with Babbel's interactive bite-sized lessons, you'll remember what you learned.
There's no easier way to learn another language.
Ahora hablamos español.
He just said, now we speak Spanish.
Babbel, language for life. Now try Babbel for free. Just go to Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com.
Do you know what people see when they Google you? Search engines don't always get it right. And when they're wrong, it's your reputation on the line. So what do you do when you don't agree with your search results? Call Reputation Defender at 800-401-6681. Reputation Defender is one of the most trusted names in online reputation repair. We have over a decade of experience in fixing people's search results, and we can help you too. Using cutting-edge approaches, Reputation Defender pushes unflattering information down to lower pages of your search results, where few people ever look. We also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, letting you put Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. You owe it to yourself to take control with Reputation Defender. Visit www.reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 for free advice on your situation. That's 800-401-6681.
The WSGW Morning Team Show.
We last week did our annual predictions for the Academy Awards, something that we have been doing for a number of years now. How did we do, we asked. Do you really want to know, I asked. Do you remember what you chose?
Not a bit.
Obviously. It was bleak, gentlemen. At least everyone got at least one right.
Okay.
Oh,
all right. Darn it. Year.
In reverse. Art, yeah, you had one. Dave, you had one right. Pat, you had one right.
Okay. Woohoo.
I actually had four right.
Four. All right.
Outshining us all once again.
Really?
Yes, as she has done several times, because Ann Williams, once again proving that the female mind is much smarter than the male mind. Five right.
Wow.
Out of seven.
Ann is the champion.
Ann is the champion.
How about that?
Once again, shaming us all.
Well, let's understand that shaming us all is not necessarily a badge of honor. It doesn't take much.
The Morning Team Show. Weekdays 5:30 to 9 on WSGW. Broadcasting from the premier kitchen and bath gallery showroom and design center studios. This is WSGW.
All right, welcome back here on the Art Lewis Show. In just a few minutes, we're going to talk to Tom McCulloch. He is a senior executive casino host for Soaring Eagle, and they have apparently a new sports book that we're going to talk about this morning. All that coming up in just a couple of moments here on WSGW. My thanks again to Corey Adkins from the Great Lakes Shipwreck Historical Society. It is a fascinating topic to hear about all these shipwrecks on the Great Lakes. I had no idea. 6,000 on the Great Lakes wrecks. Whoa. That is a lot of people. Number of stories to talk about in the news. Next hour, we'll do that. We have a Blue Cross Blue Shield doctor to start the hour. And then later on in the hour, we'll have some time for open phones, but there are some interesting stories going on right now. Apparently, the federal investigation of Hunter Biden all of a sudden is heating up. Interesting timing. Facebook and how the rants on Facebook help the feds build the Whitmer kidnap case. Careful what you post, folks, right? You've heard in the news about a 7-hour gap in the Trump phone log about January 6th. The FDA has approved a second vaccine booster for those 50 and older. Although I don't know that they're calling it a booster, it's just a fourth shot of either the Pfizer or Moderna vaccine. You have to be 50 and older or have, a compromised immune system to be able to get that fourth shot. And I talked yesterday to a friend of mine who's an ER doc, a physician, and he was saying that it's wise to get it because they do wane in their protection over a certain period of time. And so I looked at myself, for example. I had my booster shot in September. So roughly 5.5 months ago. And he said, yeah, go ahead and get your fourth. It'd be a smart thing to do. Can't hurt, can only help. So I said, okay. So my wife and I'll get our fourth shots. And I have a feeling that we're going to end up in a situation like we are with flu shots. And that is that annually you'll have to get a booster or a COVID shot, if you will, along with your flu shot, unless they figure out how to combine them. I don't know if they can. I don't know if biologically it's possible to do that. But wouldn't that be nice? I mean, if you got your flu/COVID shot all at once, And you didn't have to worry about all the little separates. Well, do I need this one? Do I need that one? Do I need this other one? When do I get it? How do I get it? Who do I get it from? So we will see what happens, and we will keep you posted on that. We'll talk more about that next hour, though. We're going to take a break, and then we'll be back.
Wool Files in Saginaw is looking for an experienced parts counter person. You must be prompt, dependable, equipment. Qualified candidates can make good wages and receive an excellent benefit package at a clean, well-respected local business. For an opportunity to fill this rewarding position at one of the area's oldest, highly respected repair shops, bring a resume and apply in person to Dave at 5818 State Street, Saginaw, between the hours of 8 a.m. and 6 p.m. This is a full-time position and starts now. Wool Files, Ace Hardware, 5818 State Street, Saginaw. Wool Files is an equal opportunity employer.
We're proud to make Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. Proud to be found in your kitchen, the heart of your home. And it doesn't really matter what you make with Pioneer Sugar, whether it's with our granulated white, light brown confectioners. It's the memories you'll make using it that will matter the most. Pioneer Sugar, pure and all natural, made from sugar beets grown right here. What could be sweeter than that?
As of March 19th, 2022, Great Lakes Bay Health Center's COVID-19 drive-through testing locations are closed. You can find a COVID-19 testing site by calling the COVID-19 hotline at 888-535-6136 or by contacting your local health department. More information can be found at greatlakesbayhealthcenters.org. That's 888-535-6136 or .org.
Moments like making my kids my famous meatballs mean a lot to me. But after being diagnosed with metastatic breast cancer, or MBC, which is breast cancer that has spread to other parts of the body, they mean even more. I take Ibrance, palbociclib. Ibrance 125 milligram tablets with an aromatase inhibitor is for postmenopausal women or for men with HR-positive, HER2-negative MBC as the first hormonal-based therapy. Ask your doctor about Ibrance and visit Ibrance.com. Ibrance may cause low white blood cell counts that may lead to serious infections. Ibrance may cause severe inflammation of the lungs. Both of these can lead to death. Tell your doctor right away. Including trouble breathing, shortness of breath, cough, or chest pain. Before taking Ibrance, tell your doctor if you have fever, chills, or other signs of infection, liver or kidney problems, are or plan to become pregnant, or are breastfeeding. Common side effects include low red blood cell and low platelet counts, infections, tiredness, nausea, sore mouth, abnormalities in liver blood tests, diarrhea, hair thinning or loss, vomiting, rash, and loss of appetite.
Liberty Mutual Insurance Company presents Doug.
Check it out, Limu, a roadside carnival.
Step right up, folks. Test your strength.
Come see the fire-breathing baby. Let's Mutual customizes your car insurance, so you only pay for what you need.
Look, an emu wearing sunglasses.
Limu, you're famous. Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
On the next Markley Van Camp and Robin show.
Oh, great. The border crisis is about to get even worse. We should pass the Don't Say Stay bill.
Markley Van Camp and Robbins. Weekdays at noon on 100.3 News Radio WSGW.
And we're back with you on the Art Lewis Show here on WSGW. Something new to talk about at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort. Of course, there's always something new at Soaring Eagle. It seems it's continuous. But to fill us in, we welcome to the program a senior executive casino host. We say hello to Tim McCulloch. Tim, good morning.
Good morning to you, Art.
Thanks for being with us today.
Thanks for having me, my friend.
So let's talk about this new addition to the casino, a sports book. Tell us about it.
So much fun. Yeah, we want everybody to come join us for our ribbon cutting ceremony. It's happening April 4th at 4 p.m. So exciting, and we're so happy to get our sports book up and running. We want to invite everybody out to be part of it. And speaking of having everybody out, we invited the Michigan State University's 2000 college champions, Morris Peterson, Mateen Cleese, Antonio Smith and Charlie Bell, the champions, as you know, the Flintstones.
Yeah, the Flintstones.
I'm sure you are as well, Art, right?
Yeah. I'm a Flint no rock. At 5 foot, let me put it this way.
A lot of fun, and a lot of excitement, obviously, created by those guys alone, and having them all day long, they're giving their analysis and thoughts on the NCAA men's championship game at 9:00 is going to be a whole lot of fun, and hearing what they have to say, and obviously meeting everybody that comes out is going to be really exciting.
So let me ask this, Tim, because when we think of sports book today, because of all the advertising and the change in the state laws, we think of, gambling on your cell phone, so to speak, if you will, and making your bets on your cell phone. This is an in-house sports book. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's definitely, you can come into our brick and mortars, have a window, a lot of help. We do have plenty of kiosks to use too. If you, want to get on the kiosk and have your privacy of placing your bets there as well. Educational pieces, sports betting 101, so to speak, for our Eagles Casino and Sports gamers out there. And then we hope to have our app mid-April, do from the comfort of your own room or home.
So you will have
both, but it's nice to be able to walk in.
You will have an app then, like all the rest of them out there.
Correct.
Yeah,
correct. Certainly will.
Will it?
Casino and Sports will be the app.
Will it, just out of curiosity, also contain casino games like these others do, or is it strictly going to be?
Plenty of those, actually. I believe to be about 400. A lot of the ones that started off, didn't have quite as many. They came out with 10, maybe a dozen games. We're coming out full steam, showing our place in the market, and we'll have around 400 games, I hear. So very exciting to get that up and running as well.
Where inside Soaring Eagle, and it's called Ascend, isn't it? Where is that located?
That's towards the rear of the casino, right in the back. That is our lounge. It's a multi-purpose room. We've had bands from local bands to Jefferson Starship play in there. All kinds of great activities throughout that room that can be performed. We have some VIP areas in that room as well. There's a dance floor, definitely a multi-purpose. So you want to come out and check out the UFC game, we're going to have a spot for you. You want to come out and grab a bite to eat while you're placing some bets, that's going to be available too. And with all that being said, it's a great place to come have a drink, hang out, and watch the game, whether all baseball, hockey, you name it. We're going to have a little bit of something for everybody, which really makes the room unique and makes it really fun. And I think people are going to really enjoy our Ascend Sportsbook for all those reasons. And on the 4th, which makes it cool too, is we're going to have, speaking of all those things, we're going to have drink specials. Our Coors Light draft is going to be $1.75, $2 for Coors Light bottles. We're going to have the Coors promotional girls out there celebrating and promoting with a bunch of swag. And it really makes the room a fun environment to hang out, make your bets, and just enjoy a day out.
Does the sports book now take over the Ascend room, or is it still going to be a multi-purpose type room?
Well, we're definitely focused on sports, so that's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to invite, you're going to see a lot of celebrities come through and be part of the fun, but it's just a overall room that likes to celebrate a lot of things. So definitely kiosks within the room. There'll also be kiosks just outside the Ascend doors, so if you didn't want to come in and be part of that, you can still sneak off to your kiosk and place your bets and make that something if you don't want to come in and enjoy the inside it with the brick and mortar. But definitely a lot going on inside too. So when the games are over, we can play a DJ, or maybe in the summer when we're doing an outdoor summer concert series, your favorite band late into the evening after the games. So we're definitely going to think sports, and then we want to entertain the people all night long after the games as well. So it's a great place to hang out, chill out, relax, have a bite to eat, maybe some great apps, and enjoy the rest of your evening.
Let me ask, Tim, I don't know, you may not have the answer to this question, but, with the pandemic and all the restrictions that were placed, and now with the advent of, online sports book and casino gaming, has it had an impact on the physical attendance inside Soaring Eagle? Can you say that maybe it's back to pre-pandemic times? Will it ever be?
We have definitely took our safety protocols very seriously and implemented a lot of things to keep our employees as well as our guests safe. And as those tend to loosen as we went through and looked at all those things that we measured to open up safely, we definitely seen a return of the crowd, and we've definitely continued with our entertainment in a safe way. Our entertainers, I should say, thanked us many of times for the way we've come out of the pandemic, so to speak, and definitely we've definitely enjoyed a great year as people are starting to get out looking for things to do. Whether it's indoors and or outdoors, as we always have a great outdoor summer concert series that people attend, as it gets heavily attended. And we thought of all those things, and we've definitely seen the business come back. And it's great because we've been seeing people from outside the state as well. I mean, we're a in-state casino. Our money stays in the state. That's one of the great things about coming to Soaring Eagle. You know, your money is right here in Michigan. It's not going elsewhere. And but we've definitely seen people from outside the state come as well, as maybe they had stricter lockdowns or something to that effect. And we've all welcomed all and had huge success with that. So hopefully we see those people come and join us April 4th at 4 p.m. for our ribbon cutting and be part of our new Ascend Sportsbook and be part of that process as well.
Now, your sister casino, Saguenay Eagle, is that going to be part of this at all, or are they going to have their own?
Yeah, there'll be some kiosks over there that you can place some bets. As we move forward, we're always looking to include our sister property over there, Saguenay Eagles Landing, and we're excited to have them. They're going to have concerts out there as well this summer, outdoors, and we're always including them in all the things that we have to offer. As you can buy concert tickets over there and be part of the action over here as well. So they're always part of the process as we move forward with any of our new endeavors.
Well, Tim, thanks for being with us today. We appreciate it, and we'll look forward to new Ascend Sportsbook. Thanks.
You get a chance, come on out. We'd love to be.
I'll be there this Saturday.
Welcoming you as well if you get a chance. Remember, that's 4 o'clock, April 4th. Come on out, be part of it. The big game starts at 9. All the fun freebies. The first 100 are going to get T-shirts through the door. We're going to have a DJ in the house as well. It's going to be a great time. I hope you can make it, Art.
I'll be there Saturday broadcasting, so I'll be there to take an advanced look. Let's put it that way. Have a good one, Tim. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye now. Back to close out after these notes.
Around the corner. Now is the time to look around and plan those home renovations you've been waiting for. Hi, this is Mary Ann from Warden Interiors in Frankenmuth. Let our design team help you get your home ready for spring. We are excited to celebrate our 60th anniversary and want you to celebrate with us. Come check out our new flooring, window treatments, and more. Do it yourself or get quality professional installation from our very own installers. Stop into our showroom on North Main Street in Frankenmuth. Warden Interiors, celebrating 60 years. We'll help you bring it all together. Are you ready for retirement? Well, Jason and Carl Kreiderman with Great Lakes Investment Advisors have a new book that can help make retiring easier. In Empower Your Retirement, they talk about how a well-thought-out financial plan can make the difference between just surviving and thriving in retirement. Using everyday language, this book explores how a simple process can help you cover all the bases of your financial life, including how taxes can affect your retirement and much more. Your finances are too important to leave to chance. Empower Your Retirement is written must-dos to prepare for the retirement you desire. Get your free copy of Empower Your Retirement by calling 989-848-1188. That's 989-848-1188. And for more on retirement planning, tune into Jason and Carl's radio show, Your Financial Empower Hour, every Sunday morning at 8. Firm provides insurance services, investment advisory services offered by Great Lakes Investment Advisors, Inc., a registered investment advisor firm in the state of Michigan. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal.
If you owe the IRS back taxes, then get ready to pay up. The IRS has giant private collection agencies actively tracking down folks who owe the IRS. So if you think dodging them was stressful in the past, it's going to get a whole lot tougher. Optima Tax Relief has this advice. Don't wait. Solve your tax problems now before it's too late. Optima Tax Relief works to stop the demand letters, stop the aggressive collection actions, and stop the IRS collectors from targeting you. Ask Optima about the Fresh Start Initiative, one of the biggest breaks the IRS If you qualify, you could save thousands, and nobody knows this program better than they do. Optima is A-plus rated with the Better Business Bureau, and they get results, having resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. Get a fresh start. Call today for your free consultation.
Call 800-364-9188. 800-364-9188. 800-364-9188.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
News is next. We'll be back after that with lots more on the Art Lewis Show.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, presented by Indeed.com.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov says Russia is encouraging proposals from Ukraine to end the war, but he says he sees no breakthrough. Correspondent Deborah Pata is in Kyiv.
Boardroom negotiations mean little on the battlefield. Ukrainians are not letting their guard down. The enemy is still here, said President Volodymyr Zelensky. Missile and air attacks have not stopped. That's the reality.
Ukrainian officials say Russian forces pounded areas around the capital as well as northern Chernihiv overnight. The UN Refugee Agency's Alex Munch says more than 4 million Ukrainians have fled their country since the war began.
This is a milestone, but to even capture the full scale of the conflict, we have maybe 10 million people trapped that can't move.
This morning, Republican Senator Susan Collins announced she will vote to confirm Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson, giving Democrats the one extra vote they may need to assure Jackson will become the first Black woman to serve on the Supreme Court. Still unclear how Arizona Democrat Kyrsten Sinema will vote. There's more dangerous weather tearing through the South.
A possible pre-dawn tornado caused widespread damage across the city of Springdale in northwest Arkansas. The roof was ripped off this woman's house in St. Joseph, Missouri.
We got the kids in, and then all we heard was like a huge boom and a crash and like a ripping sound, and then it got really, really quiet.
Some 50 million people from the Gulf Coast to southern Illinois and Indiana could see severe weather, including tornadoes. Jim Crisula, CBS News.
Will Smith could be leading man non grata in Hollywood soon. Members of the Academy of Arts and Sciences are expected to hold an emergency meeting tonight to discuss a response to his attack on Chris Rock at the Oscars. CBS's Jerika Duncan.
If Smith is expelled, he will join the ranks of Harvey Weinstein and Roman Polanski, who were removed from the Academy but kept their Oscars. Entertainment reporter Clayton Davis.
People that are calling for his Oscar to be revoked. That is highly unlikely to happen.
What do you do to protect your car from thieves? CBS's Vicki Barker says it's not leaving it in a well-lit spot. That familiar nighttime symphony. British researchers say the number of car break-ins on one street was cut almost in half when the street lights were turned off between midnight and 5 a.m. Apparently, if the street is dark, that opportunistic thief is less likely to spot those valuables you left on the front seat. This is CBS News.
Hire with minimal effort and maximum success with Indeed, their powerful hiring platform. Review and hire candidates all in one place. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Wool Files in Saginaw is looking for an experienced parts counter person. You must be prompt, dependable, and knowledgeable in lawn and garden equipment. Qualified candidates can make good wages and receive an excellent benefit package at a clean, well-respected local business. For an opportunity to fill this rewarding position at one of the area's oldest, highly respected repair shops, bring a resume and apply in person to Dave at 5818 State Street, Saginaw, between the hours of 8 a.m. and 6 p.m. This is a full-time position and starts now. Wool Files, Ace Hardware, 5818 State Street, Saginaw. Wool Files is an equal opportunity employer.
If you owe the IRS back taxes, then get ready to pay up. The IRS collection agencies actively tracking down folks who owe the IRS. So if you think dodging them was stressful in the past, it's going to get a whole lot tougher. Optima Tax Relief has this advice. Don't wait. Solve your tax problems now before it's too late. Optima Tax Relief works to stop the demand letters, stop the aggressive collection actions, and stop the IRS collectors from targeting you. Ask Optima about the Fresh Start Initiative, one of the biggest breaks the IRS has ever offered. If you qualify, you could save thousands, and nobody knows this program better than they do. Optima is A-plus rated with the Better Business Bureau, and they get results, having resolved over $1 billion of tax debt Start. Call today for your free consultation.
Call 800-364-9188. 800-364-9188. 800-364-9188.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
RocketGrabPlus.com. Why are you paying full price when you know that you can save money at RocketGrabPlus.com? You can check out our deals right now from Salon Blue Day Spa and Boutique, 120 Fitness, Uplift Creative Center, Woody's Hot Dogs, Wonder Burger, King's Fish and More, and the Hamptons Boutique Tanning and Salon. Half off? Yeah, it's true. And it's all at Rocket Grab Plus.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom. This is WSGW News.
34 degrees, cloudy sky at 10:05. Good morning, I'm Rick Antonio. The Saginaw County Prosecutor's Office says to avoid the appearance of impropriety, it will likely turn an investigation into alleged excessive force used by a Michigan State Police trooper over to the Michigan Attorney General's Office for review of potential criminal charges. WSGW's
State police are conducting an internal investigation into the incident, which happened when troopers pulled 47-year-old Vance Martin of Saginaw over for a traffic stop about 7:15 p.m. Monday in the area of 17th and Ansley. Others at the scene recorded the incident, which has been posted and shared on social media. It shows Martin being punched multiple times in the face while handcuffed. He was treated at a local hospital before being taken to jail on charges including assaulting, resisting, or obstructing police and operating while intoxicated. Martin was not arraigned on the charges and was released Tuesday. State police specifically prohibits use of force that is objectively unreasonable or excessive in any scenario. The trooper involved has been suspended until the investigation is complete. Ann Williams, News Radio, 100.5 and 790.
Police have released more details about the fire at a Shiawassee Area Transportation Agency garage at 180 North Delaney Road in Owasso Township on Monday. Investigators are still trying to determine whether a propane explosion is responsible for the fire. 2 buses in the garage were destroyed while the building sustained heavy damage. A mechanic who had been working on a bus inside the structure sustained burns in the fire. He was taken to Healthcare in Owasso and was later transferred to the burn unit at Hurley Medical Center in Flint. SATA has canceled all bus services for today and will determine the bus schedule for the rest of the week as soon as possible. A local utility is entering a new partnership to make electric vehicles more accessible. MNN's Jason Scott has more.
DTE Energy and the ride-hailing company Lyft are coming together to incentivize drivers who purchase or lease an electric vehicle for use on the Lyft network. All through DTE's Charging Forward program, the partnership can provide access of EVs to all while bringing cleaner energy to Southeast Michigan. Drivers on Lyft $5,000 from DTE when they purchase and use an EV for ride-hailing. Meantime, the utility is investing more than $1 billion to help improve electric reliability.
WSGW News Time, 10:07.
Ship your mama down the road. It's the Gift Food and Craft Marketplace, brought to you by Ship Shawana on the Road. Coming to the Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort, Mount Pleasant, April 2nd through 3rd. Saturday 9 to 6, Sunday 10 to 5. We pay the first 100 people to shop every day with Ship Bucks. Hundreds of booths and thousands of products. It's one-stop shopping.
Morning, Doctor. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Oh, good morning. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, you're welcome. I'll be with you just a couple of minutes. I turn the video off when we're not on.
Decor, yard decorations, vintage items, furniture, pet supplies, sports stuff, signs, man cave supplies, clothing and fashion, and more. Coming to the Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort, Mount Pleasant, April 2nd through 3rd. Saturday 9 to 6, Sunday 10 to 5. Free parking. Admission only $5 per adult. Children under 12 free. It's the Gift Food and Craft Show, brought to you by Ship Shawana on the Road. For $1 off coupon, go to shipshawanaontheroad.com. Also visit us on Facebook and Twitter.
WSGW News Time, 10:08. Lieutenant Governor Garland Gilchrist is be there today to meet with President Biden's senior advisor and infrastructure coordinator to discuss Michigan's infrastructure and road plan. He's expected to focus on priorities for investment, road work, and federal support for increased access to high-speed internet, among other things. Former Detroit Police Chief Ralph Godby has suspended his campaign for the 13th Congressional District. The Detroit News reports he's also encouraging others to do the same in a bid to support a single black candidate before the August primary. The remaining Democratic candidates include John Conyers III, former State Rep Sherry Gay Degnogo, and State Rep Shri Thanadar, among several others. Hoping a new jail will be a valid issue in November. Sheriff Glenn Skrent made an appeal to the County Board of Commissioners on why a new jail is necessary. He says the nearly 60-year-old facility lacks the space needed to safely and effectively house inmates, posing a risk to officers and staff. He says there isn't enough storage space, resulting in a lot of equipment being stored in hallways. According to Skrent, a new jail would cost about $50 million. The department is looking at a pod-style structure similar to the one recently built in Saginaw County. He says despite the rising cost and delay due to the pandemic, any further delay in approving a new jail will only result in even further increased cost, but says option anymore. WSGW News Time 10:10. Weather forecast.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions from around your block to around the world. The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com.
All right, we're back with you on the Art Lewis Show for hour number 2 from my Saginaw Spirit Home Studio, brought to you by Linda Shepherd at Pinnacle Realty for all of your commercial and real estate needs, both residential and commercial. Give Linda a call, 989-295-7713. Stop in and visit her at The Point, M46 and M47 in Saginaw Township. And while you're there, visit Cafe 476 with all its delicious soups and beverages and sandwiches and the like. Also, we missed the weather there. We will bring you the weather in a little while. Right now, we're going to talk about something that, depending who you listen to, much of America suffers from it, and it's called sleep deprivation. And what does that mean to your health? Well, we're going to find out this morning, because from Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan, we welcome Dr. Gina Lynem-Walker. Doctor, good morning to you.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Oh, thanks for being with us today, Doc.
Great.
First of all, I think we need to define sleep deprivation. Is there a line that you don't cross? You know, if I lose an hour's sleep, is that sleep deprivation? If I lose 8 hours sleep, So what are we talking about when we talk about sleep deprivation?
Well, all of us have different body clocks and that sort of thing. But with daylight savings time occurring a week or so ago, a lot of us missed that hour of sleep. And they say 35% of American adults don't get proper sleep. And scientifically, they say between 7 to 9 hours of sleep would be adequate for most adults. So if you get less than 7 hours, that can lead to some disruptions. That we'll talk about. Some people get sleep apnea. Some people get what's called restless leg syndrome. So if you're not getting adequate sleep, it can lead to health problems. And we don't often talk about sleep as something that we can manage and we can control as part of our health.
So here, this may seem like the world's simplest question, but it really is based on curiosity on my part. Define sleep. Do I have to be in that deep REM state of sleep? Or can I be there half asleep and count it as sleep?
Well, that's a good question, and I may not have all the answers, but you want to go through all the phases of sleep for it to be considered adequate sleep. And that would include, full REM sleep, that REM sleep phase that puts us into more of a deep sleep. So if you're just getting that surface amount of sleep where you're awakening frequently throughout the night, and some people do have issues with having to get up to urinate frequently throughout the night, that's going to break your sleep pattern. So you're not really getting adequate rest if you're not getting all the phases of sleep. So I would say, that that's very important.
That's an interesting question, because can you drift in and out of these phases, and is the result cumulative? So that by that I mean, if I go to bed at I'll pick a time. Let's say I go to bed at 11 o'clock, and I go into a full REM sleep, but at 2 o'clock I wake up and have to go do my thing. And I come back and I lay down again. And now I go back into it again, and maybe I get another 3 hours. And I wake up again, and then maybe I come back and get another 2 hours. Is it cumulative, or does it all have to be at once?
Well, I think it's cumulative. You can, as long as you're getting those going through those phases of sleep, your body's going to feel rested. Your brain is going to get rid of those waste products that we need to in order to get full adequate sleep and to help our bodies. So as long as you're going back to sleep, you're getting you're going through all your phases of sleep, getting that full 3 hours of getting those phases in, then you should be adequately rested and feel okay.
What are if there are any, what are the dangers of taking some of these sleep aids on the market today? The Unisoms, which are antihistamines, the melatonins, and all of those things. I mean, if you go to any pharmacy, there's a shelf full of them. Any danger in taking those?
Well, I would always recommend to talk to your doctor before you take any sleep aid or any supplement, because some of these sleep aids, like Benadryl, which is an antihistamine, if you're taking certain medications, you don't want to mix those medications. If you have certain conditions, such as cardiac or heart problems, or hypertension or blood pressure issues, you want to be careful with mixing those medications with some things that you're already taking. So I always suggest, talking to your doctor about that. Some of them can be helpful to promote sleep, but you want to talk to your doctor first.
And are there, to your knowledge, are there long-term effects of taking those? I mean, assuming somebody talks to their doctor and doctor says, yeah, go ahead.
Not really, and it depends on your medical conditions. Certain things, like I mentioned, might not be safe for some people. But for melatonin, for instance, I think the jury's out on if those things really help sleep. But I think long term, they're not going to hurt if you take some melatonin at night to help you sleep.
So we talk about other conditions. Are there medical conditions, physical conditions that deny a person good sleep?
Absolutely. The first thing that I think about would be obstructive sleep apnea, which occurs. Some people have snoring with it. Some people will gasp and have interrupted breathing patterns. But that condition can decrease our oxygen levels. Some people have low oxygen levels at night, and therefore you're not getting adequate oxygen to the brain. It can lead to blood pressure issues and other neurological issues. So that's something that you really want to be aware of. Most often, your sleep partner will be the first one to notice that you're snoring and that you're gasping for air. So that's something that your sleep partner can make you aware of. But it's important to get that checked.
Yeah, you anticipated my question. I mean, because obviously, if this happens while I'm asleep, how do I know I'm doing it? How do I know I have that problem?
Yeah. Trust me, if you have a sleep partner, they will make you aware.
Yes, there is
yes.
no doubt about it. Tell me, you
Absolutely.
mentioned another one, and I guess I'm just not as familiar with it as I am sleep apnea. But what is restless leg syndrome?
Yeah, restless leg syndrome is an urge to, an overwhelming urge to move your legs. And if you have it, you know you have it because you just, when you're laying down, you just can't stop moving your legs. It's kind of a crawling feeling that you get in your leg, a tingling feeling. And believe it or not, it's quite common. It happens at night when we're asleep. They really don't know why it happens, but it can be associated with certain other conditions such as Parkinson's disease, even hyper reactivity disease or ADHD. And, it can be a symptom of iron deficiency as well. So if you have that feeling that you just can't stop moving your legs, you get that tingling feeling at night, I recommend seeing your doctor to get some lab work done and to get a good neurological examination.
Is it treatable?
It is treatable. They have medication that you can use to treat it.
Doctor, hang on. I have to take a break. We'll come back.
Sure.
Talk a little more with Dr. Gina Lynem-Walker from Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan, talking about sleep deprivation and the need for sleep in our lives in this busy world we live in. More ahead on the Art Lewis Show.
Inflation in Michigan and the Midwest, highest in the nation. Annette Glenn is running for state senate to fight for new jobs, energy independence, to cut fuel costs, cut taxes, and drug costs. Annette Glenn, fighting by Annette Glenn for state senate.
Are you aware the average person blinks 1,000 times an hour? Who cares? Just be aware of the Powerball jackpot. We're talking big.
Wednesday's Powerball jackpot, $291 million.
Do you promise to love, honor, and cherish, forsaking all others?
I do.
I do. And now, by the power vested in me, I now pronounce you roommates. Go forth.
That's not the vow you took. But if struggles with CPAP have you and your spouse sleeping in separate rooms, it might be time to look into Inspire. Inspire works inside the body with just the click of a remote. That's right, just a button. No mask, no hose, just sleep. Inspire. Sleep apnea innovation.
Talk to your doctor to see if Inspire is right. Information at inspiresleep.com.
Do you owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes? Are you being audited or investigated? Has the IRS sent you a letter demanding payment? You may not owe what they claim. Make this free call to the tax doctor now. Let them negotiate with the IRS on your behalf. Call 800-631-9123. 800-631-9123. That's 800-631-9123.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. It actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/trial. That's ZipRecruiter.com/trial.
I'm Neil Cavuto, and this is the Fox Business Report.
A final read of the fourth quarter U.S. gross domestic product is in. It was weaker than expected, growing at a 6.9% pace. 455,000 jobs in March, according to payroll processor ADP. That is slightly more than expected. Leisure and hospitality leading the gains, but overall, hiring was spread evenly across sectors.
Ahead of that big Friday report, we saw a slight revision to the private payroll data we're expecting on Friday amid the entire March jobs report. Real quick, we're looking for 490,000 private payrolls on Friday.
Cheryl Casoni with the Fox Business Network. Oil prices continuing their climb, crude up almost $4 a barrel, and mortgage refinance demand plunges 60% as rates hit their highest level since 20. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Lillian Wu, invested in you.
Economists are warning that sanctions against Russia could trigger devastating inflation, worse than the current 40-year highs. Hi, this is Stephen K. Bannon, and I urge you to protect your savings right now with a gold IRA through Birch Gold, the only company I trust for gold. Just shelter to 989898 to get a free info kit on how to protect your savings with gold. Again, text SHELTER to 989898.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Has this ever happened to you? Your significant other says, we've got to redo the kitchen, and you break out into a cold sweat?
Worry, it's a common condition, something we call needless remodeling anxiety, and we've got the cure. Heck, we are the cure. Hi, I'm Tom Kreitler.
And I'm Leslie Segretti. Whether you do it yourself or direct it yourself, we can help you keep your project on track and on budget.
So join us this weekend for the Money Pit Home Improvement Radio Show.
The Money Pit, Saturday mornings at 9 on WSGW.
And we are back with you, talking to Dr. Gina Lynem-Walker from Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan. We're talking about sleep deprivation, and I found it interesting, Doctor, that you said about 35% of the country suffers from sleep deprivation one way or another, which kind of mirrors the numbers in some ways for type 2 diabetes. Are they related at all?
Yes, that's right, Art. Sleep deprivation or not getting enough sleep can result in several long-term risks, including resistance, prediabetes. And we awaken during night, we're getting insufficient sleep, irregular sleep, and high blood sugars can develop as a result of that because of hormonal shifts. There are interesting hormones that we have that affect our appetite, and one hormone is called leptin, which decreases our appetite. So during the night, if we're not getting adequate sleep, that hormone may be disrupted. So yes, not getting adequate sleep can lead to insulin resistance or prediabetes. It can lead to anxiety and depression because of hormonal shifts with our serotonin, and as well as heart problems and obesity. So there are long-term and short-term risk of not getting adequate sleep.
I want to go back to something we talked about very early on, because the U.S. Senate has unanimously passed daylight savings time. It has to go to the House and get signed yet, if it happens. Does it really matter, first of all, if we're on daylight savings time or standard time, as long as we don't change time? It's the change that's the problem, isn't it?
Yeah, the change is the problem, but also with daylight savings time as opposed to standard time, the jury's still out as far as the medical community in a lot of instances, because with daylight savings time, we have that it's dark, where it's usually light, and we have a longer day, so to speak. But they found that with that shift, that it can cause more accidents, car accidents increase. And also there have been studies that show that people are hospitalized more for heart conditions when we make that shift from standard time to daylight savings time. They found an increase in what's called atrial fibrillation. Irregular heart rhythms can occur. So the jury's still out. A lot of medical societies are advocating more to keep it at standard time as opposed to daylight savings time. So there can be some risk with switching back and forth.
Let's talk about a couple other things that affect sleep that we've heard about all our lives. Caffeine. Is it the enemy of sleep?
Well, speaking from personal experience, yes, it is.
You and my wife. All right, good.
Absolutely. Yeah, caffeine can disrupt your sleep. So we recommend, in addition to not eating 3 hours before sleep, also decreasing your caffeine consumption prior to sleep, several hours prior to sleep, as well as alcohol consumption. Alcohol, initially it make you a little drowsy, you fall off to sleep, but it's going to wake you up. It's going to disrupt your sleep. So we recommend not having alcohol 2 hours before sleep. So have that moderate alcohol consumption 2 hours prior to sleep.
So no food, no caffeine, no alcohol. You've ruined my night. But
That's right. I mean, you can have all those things, but just just have them 2 or 3 hours before you're going to go to sleep.
From a standpoint of Blue Cross Blue Shield and other insurers, do you cover things like sleep studies?
Yes, absolutely. We do cover sleep studies. We, of course, there have to be certain criteria and things like that we go by. And we also cover treatment for people with obstructive sleep apnea, such as the CPAP that people use at night to help them sleep. And that kind of keeps the airway open and helps get the oxygen flowing into your system. So we do cover things like that as well.
Now, I'm not a CPAP user, and I have always wondered how in the world I could sleep with that thing hooked onto my face. It would seem to me to be a contradiction, but it seems to work for people, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, like with anything, humans are adaptable. I think if you know the importance of it, if it's going to help your health long term, people get used to it. But of course, there are people that can't tolerate it. For whatever reason, they don't like the mask, they don't like the airflow. And masks can be adjusted. Things can be adjusted to help with a better fit. But there are, more options coming out now that can help. But again, those things have to go through, approval and things like that because they can be quite costly. But the most important thing with sleep apnea, just to make a point, is lifestyle change. A lot of times people get sleep apnea because they're gaining weight, their neck size is increasing. So losing weight, exercise, going to see your doctor. Sometimes there's some obstruction in the back of the throat where ear, nose, and throat doctor can help with that. And there are also things like guards that you can put in your mouth that will help keep your mouth open so you're breathing better. So there are lots of different options, lots of lifestyle changes that we can make to help decrease the incidence of sleep apnea.
For the average person who has a fairly normal sleep cycle, how long should it take you to fall asleep?
Good question. It shouldn't take long. I would say the average person, maybe 5 to 10 minutes. And,
Oh, wow.
and you should be sleeping.
Okay, I'm not average. 20 to 30 is more like it.
Okay.
But
Yep.
you wonder because you and what I do for a living, my mind is working all the time. So when I
Right.
lay down to go to sleep,
Mhm.
I can't shut it off. I'm thinking of things. I'm dreaming about things. It's like work without moving the rest of my body. That does impact how fast you fall asleep, doesn't it?
Yes. And I wouldn't say that's insomnia, more or less, but some people have very active brains where they're just, thinking about things and they just can't shut it down. In that case, I suggest, getting up. Maybe it's just not time for you to go to sleep. Get up, have some warm tea or something like that can help relax you. I know. Yeah,
Decaffeinated tea, of course.
yeah,
Yeah.
decaffeinated chamomile tea or something. Yeah, that decaffeinates is very important. That can help relax you. Some people like to journal before they go to sleep to kind of get things off of their mind, a little bit of meditation, deep breathing. So I recommend those things that kind of calm your brain down a little bit, so you can go to sleep. One thing I'd like to mention is to decrease that blue light apparatus, which means your cell phone, your computer, laptop, whatever that might be, because that blue light triggers our brain to stay awake. So you want to put those things to the side. Prepare a very comfortable sleep environment. A good temperature. 65 to 70 degrees is important.
So let me ask this question. Now that you've taken away my food, caffeine, beverages, and my computer screens, does television have that same impact? Is that also blue screen? Is it considered blue screen?
Yeah, I hate to break it to you, Art, but TV.
So in other words,
that's
3
another
hours,
thing.
3 hours before I go to bed, I should sit in a dark room and do nothing.
Right.
Oh, you've
There
totally
you go.
destroyed my nightlife.
I know it doesn't sound like fun, but again, having a TV in the room, they say, can disrupt your sleep as well. So we do suggest shutting that TV off at least an hour or so before you're going to go to sleep. That sleep environment is very important. A good mattress, a room that's darkened, not a lot of light coming into the room, a good temperature, doing other things that we talked about, especially with the devices. You want to put those in a separate spot. I know it's hard.
Well, Doc, is there a place people can go for more information? Is there a website that
Sure,
has
yeah, www.healthiermichigan.org.
Well, Dr. Lynem-Walker, thank you for spending this time with us. Let's see. It's no, I've got time yet to eat and do all that stuff. I won't be. I should ask. Let me ask one quick question. What about naps in the afternoon?
Oh, yeah, I'm a big advocate for naps. If you can get a good 10, 15-minute nap in the afternoon, if your schedule allows that, napping is good. It's good for your health. It's good for your mental health. So I do recommend naps.
What about an hour and a half nap? That too long?
It might be a little long.
You've ruined it
No
again.
more than an hour. No more than an hour. But
Well,
even
Doc-
10 to 15 minutes is good, and it can help refresh and rejuvenate you. So,
Doctor, thanks much for being with us. Always fun. We'll do it again.
all right, it was fun. It's happy sleeping, everybody.
Thanks a lot. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.
Dr. Gina Lynem-Walker from Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan. We thank her for being with us. We'll have open phones for the remainder of the hour.
Files in Saginaw is looking for an experienced parts counter person. You must be prompt, dependable, and knowledgeable in lawn and garden equipment. Qualified candidates can make good wages and receive an excellent benefit package at a clean, well-respected local business. For an opportunity to fill this rewarding position at one of the area's oldest, highly respected repair shops, bring a resume and apply in person to Dave at 5818 State Street, Saginaw, between the hours of 8 a.m. and 6 p.m. This is a full-time position and starts now. Woolfiles, Ace Hardware, 5818 State Street, Saginaw. Woolfiles is an equal opportunity employer.
If you came across someone's, how would you recognize them? Would you notice a 16-year-old boy who got his first job,
not for extra spending money, but to help feed his little sisters?
or a mother who's in between jobs and sometimes goes to bed hungry so her kids can have dinner? I am the 1 in 8 Americans who struggle with hunger. I am hungered in America.
Hunger can be hard to recognize. Learn why at IamHungerInAmerica.org. Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Research shows that people remember radio ads with a booming voice that emphasizes all the main points. So to help you remember that Liberty Mutual Insurance Company customizes your home insurance so you only pay for what you need.
That part is super.
With a booming voice.
I'm emphasizing everything.
Liberty Mutual customizes your home insurance.
Like a page with every word highlighted.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty. Liberty, 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 liberty.
God, I'm so stressed. Our business is growing. We've got people all over now.
Ooh, Ma.
What is that? Meditation?
I'm recommending Uma and their all-in-one phone, video, and collaboration solution.
Uma?
Yep. Switching to Uma is a cinch. Just $24.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Uma.
Nah. Visit Uma.com. That's OOMA.com to learn more. Uma. Smart communications for the smarter business.
How do you make the most of your land? If you ask the Wrens, who run with us on a John Deere mower, they tell you,
I mow first, then I do all the trimming.
But the Hubbards, who work behind the wheel of a John Deere compact tractor, would say, if it's something you want, just go after it and try it. Then there's the Mosers, who they mention from the seat of their John Deere Gator UTV. You can't be all work and not play. There are millions of ways to make the most of your land. Learn how to make the most of yours at Deere.com. Nothing runs like a Deere.
Finding great candidates to hire. Trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/trial. That's ZipRecruiter.com/trial.
Though many people are doing okay today, there are still many people experiencing difficulties in the community. Here is a reminder for you of a free community resource you are encouraged to use if you find yourself. 211 is a public service number for all non-emergency needs. You can call it anytime, any day, and an agent will connect you with whatever it is you're looking for. Food, financial assistance, housing support, clothing, transportation. All you need to do is dial 211 or text your zip code to 898-211 to get connected. Looking for a COVID testing location? Need help paying your bills? Is food in short supply for your family? Dial 211 to talk to a compassionate, highly trained agent who is ready to connect you with local resources. It is a free and confidential service to help you overcome obstacles of all. Which is brought to you by the Saginaw Community Foundation, because it takes a village for good forever.
This is the premier kitchen and bath gallery showroom and design center studios of WSGW.
Couldn't get all my fingers to work at the right time. Welcome back. Art Lewis Show here on WSGW. Al is in Midland. Let's chat with him this morning. Good morning, Al.
Good morning, Arthur. Hey, I ran across this fellow. I sent you an email link. George Donnelly. He said, trust is dead. And I don't know if you had time to read that or not, but he's a kind of interesting fellow. He's got a website he shares some of his ideas on, and he's got an interesting take on monetary money, inflation, and things like that. You might want to look at that too. I just thought it was a very interesting. Looking back to the trust is dead, I'm thinking politicians, various other folks that we lose trust in, and Hollywood comes into there too, because the flim flam and the crazy stuff that is kind of unbelievable and fake and all that kind of stuff. So I kind of threw that in there too. But
yeah, but we love Hollywood. We love fake. We love escapism.
Well, we used to.
Still do. Many do.
It used to be quite good when you could spend your nickel or dime or 20 cents and go into the theater, the air-conditioned theater, and yeah, that was a good thing. But nowadays it's $12 to go.
It'll cost you more for the same experience. You got that right, yeah. So
I can find a lot cheaper things to do that I don't have to spend that kind of money going in to sit in somebody else's sticky forge chair with a sticky floor and the noise and all that.
All right, good enough. We'll take a look.
I just thought I just thought I'd bring that up.
All right.
I don't know if you've had time to look at that or not.
Not
but,
yet.
He's very interesting. He talks
Good.
about inflation and
Okay.
The fall of Rome, and all kinds of things are connected into that. It's very involved. But,
All right. Good enough.
Okay.
We'll look.
Have a good morning.
Take
sir.
care. Bye-bye now. Paul is in Saginaw. Paul, good morning. Paul, you there?
Are you there, Art?
Yep, now I am.
You there?
Yeah, we got you now.
Okay. Have you done your income tax yet this year?
Yep. Done and gone, and got the
manually or
refund, and it was a piece of cake.
Did you do it manually, or did you hire somebody to do it for you?
I do it myself.
Okay, I do it myself too. I've been doing it all these years.
Me too.
Now,
I use a program, but I do it myself.
okay, well, I do it manually with pencil and paper.
I don't do
All
that.
right. Well, did you notice how worse it is this year than when Trump was in there? Trump was the only president in my lifetime, and probably yours, who went out of his way to streamline, shorten, and make simple 1040 tax return. He took a lot of stuff away. If you notice, it was only one page and not 2 pages on each side. And Biden, the Democrats, first thing they did, added a whole bunch of new stuff and added a whole bunch of the old stuff back. And it's back to being the miserable, complicated, confusing tax return that it used to be for years and years and years. Did you ever notice that?
No.
Well,
I
sure
didn't
did.
notice the form got much shorter under Trump. I mean, it's been the same, and I've had to answer the same and provide the same information. I didn't see much of a change at all, as a matter of fact.
Well, he added a return called for seniors, SR, and it was only one side. It wasn't 2 sides. And then he had another form was one side, and then a lot of
Yeah,
stuff
if you could
eliminated.
qualify to use those forms, if you could qualify to use those
Right.
forms.
Right. Well, I did it both ways to see if which way I come out the best. And Biden and the Democrats have added so much new stuff and old stuff back to the old 1040 return. It's totally ridiculous. Trump was the only president who went out of his way to stream easy, and it makes me throw up every time I look at this return this year that Biden and the Democrats
Don't
have
look
put on.
at it.
Well, I have to. I got to do it.
Well, you get it done
You
and
know?
put it away. All right.
Yeah, it's crazy. You got to read up on all that stuff, new stuff that he put on there again, and
All right,
it's
Paul.
ridiculous.
Nope.
All right.
Take care. Bye-bye
All right.
now.
Bye-bye.
Take a break. We'll get to Mark when we return.
Choose the proven performance of the Roundup Ready Extend crop system, featuring high-yielding Extend Flex soybeans and the exceptional weed control of XtendiMax herbicide with Vapor Grip technology. Elite tolerance, flexibility that delivers results, backed by 25 years of innovation. That's the Roundup Ready Extend crop system, the system of choice. XtendiMax is a restricted use pesticide. Always follow stewardship practices, all pesticide label directions, and check with your state pesticide regulatory agency for specific restrictions in your state. When you choose the Roundup Ready Extend crop system, you're choosing exceptional weed control. It controls more weeds than any other soybean system and offers up to 14 days of soil activity on certain small-seeded broadleaf weeds. Plus, you get triple tolerance to dicamba, glyphosate, and glufosinate when used with Extend Flex soybeans. The Roundup Ready Extend crop system, the system of choice.
Claims are based on as of January 2021. Pair with a strong weed management program. Always follow pesticide label directions, IRM, grain marketing, and all other stewardship practices.
If you owe the IRS back taxes, then get ready to pay up. The IRS has giant private collection agencies actively tracking down folks who owe the IRS. So if you think dodging them was stressful in the past, it's going to get a whole lot tougher. Optima Tax Relief has this advice. Don't wait. Solve your tax problems now before it's too late. Optima Tax Relief works to stop the demand letters, stop the aggressive collection actions, and stop the IRS collectors from targeting you. Ask Optima about the Fresh Start Initiative, one of the biggest breaks the IRS has ever offered. Save thousands, and nobody knows this program better than they do. Optima is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, and they get results, having resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. Get a fresh start. Call today for your free consultation.
Call 800-813-4011. That's 800-813-4011. 800-813-4011.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Today on Hey Culligan, sustainability and better water. Here's Sam.
Hey Culligan, I'm really into sustainability. My clothes, my utensils, my food. But how do I get more sustainability from my water?
And the answer is an always-on drinking water system from Culligan, which helps eliminate the equivalent of 15 billion single-use plastic bottles a year.
Whoa, that's a ton of sustainability.
416,000 tons, Sam, and we're already on the way. Let us help you out with a free in-home water test with the local Culligan water expert at Culligan.com.
RocketGrabPlus.com. This week's deal on RocketGrabPlus.com is for Style Encore. You are going to get a $40 gift certificate for only $20. At Style Encore, they buy and sell gently used women's casual and business clothing, shoes, handbags, and accessories. And they have all of the hottest name brands at up to 90% less than regular retail. Do yourself a favor and head to RocketGrabPlus.com right now to snag your deal. RocketGrabPlus.com.
Now, a WSGW Morning Team Show memorable moment.
Lionel Richie has created fragrances called Hello.
Oh.
And men.
One called Lady and Dancing on the Ceiling, Brick House. He was part of the Commodores.
You've been paying a lot of attention to his fragrances.
When it came to crafting a fragrance, he said it's not like crafting a song. It's just a careful arrangement of notes for a song. Now it's a careful arrangement of whatever your fragrance is going to be. So, but I have descriptions here. So the women's fragrance has pear, jasmine, tuberose, and honey. The men have grapefruit, lavender, violet leaves, and vetiver. You can smell like Lionel Richie. Men's and women's versions. Hello. Just in time for the holidays.
Oh. You'll wear it all night long.
Oh, Pat.
One line after another. He knows his Lionel
Truly.
Richie, doesn't he?
The WSGW Morning Team Show, weekdays 5:30 to 9 on WSGW.
On the next Markley Van Camp and Robin show.
Oh, great. The border crisis is about to get even worse. We should pass the Don't Say Stay bill.
Markley, Van Camp, and Rob. Noon on 100.5 and 790. News Radio WSGW.
All right, we're back here on WSGW, and let's see, we have Mark in now. It's St. Helen. Good morning, Mark.
Good morning, Art. How are you, sir?
Fine.
Hey, with the dairy dew spewing out of Biden's mouth on a daily basis, I think the agricultural is going to be great this season. I think there will be no problems there. And with that being said, I'd like to see if we couldn't introduce the White House crap cleaner wipes, stamped with Psaki and an elusive Kamala Harris in the package. This guy keeps talking about loose lip sink ships type stuff over in Poland with troops going in and out, and nobody knows what the heck is going on. I just think he's really stepping in it left and right. What are your thoughts?
Well, I think his loose lips have got him in trouble. You know, if loose lips sink ships and that's his line and he doesn't want to talk about certain things, he ought to follow his own advice.
Well, it just doesn't seem like everybody's on the same page. That's all. If everybody's on the same page, you know, if he wants to say whatever he says, that's one thing. But just everybody get on the same page.
That's government, though. I mean, that happens all the time. That's happened in every administration that I can think of. But I do, you know, I am concerned when he goes off script. He's got to be kept in line, and he tends to not want to stay there. You know, he kind of works in his own world.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Anyway,
all right. Fair enough.
All right, good enough.
Yeah.
Thanks. Have a good one.
Have a
Take
great
care.
day.
Bye-bye.
Yep.
Cynthia is in Midland. Cynthia, good morning.
Good morning, Art. How are you doing?
We're doing well, thanks.
I just wanted to talk about the Will Smith slap to Chris Rock.
Yeah, the slap heard around the world.
When I heard about it, my first reaction was I felt he was doing it on my behalf. And that's because for the last 40 years, I have suffered from alopecia areata. And most people that know me, most people that know me know I'm wearing a wig. But, you know, for Jada Pinkett Smith to go in a natural setting, that takes great courage.
Mm-hmm.
And it may be easy for people to say, oh, you know, it's not alopecia, or it's caused because of, you know, weaves or perms or tightness. But I really admire her for doing that.
Yeah.
And I am now 60, and I cannot do that still. I've spent my whole adult life trying to make other people feel comfortable around me, whether that's sharing my story or, you know, just trying to buy a wig that's real natural. And so, you know, on behalf of people that suffer from this disease, I think he may have done us a bit of a favor, because, you know, you just want to be normal, right? You just want your hair to grow back.
Yeah, let me make a couple of points here and get your reaction.
Sure.
First of all, both Chris Rock and Will Smith were out of line. Rock was out of line saying what he said, and Smith was out of line doing what he did. And as far as wanting to feel normal or being comfortable, making other people feel comfortable around you, I have a feeling that being around you, the way you converse, the way you address the topic, wouldn't matter whether you had hair or didn't have hair, because it's about you. It's about the person. If people, you know, are standoffish because you don't have hair, well, that's their problem, not yours. So never feel that you have to be something that you're really not just to please others, is my point.
I'll give you an example. Okay, in the 1980s, way easier for a woman to wear a wig because big hair was in.
Sure.
Right? So over the, you know, decades, I mean, for me, I've seen it get easier. I've seen wigs become better. I've had people say, you know, who does your hair? And then I go, oh, I'm wearing a wig, right, to strangers. But initially, when you're 19 years old and you're diagnosed with this, and you're hoping someone's just going to give you a pill and there's nothing to fix it, you know, it was hard. And I took the news as I don't have cancer. It's not life-threatening. I'm not going to die. And thank goodness for Dolly Parton in, you know, the 70s and her wearing wigs, because she really saved my life. It was like, you know, hey, I just have to. It's not going to kill me, and I've lived a great life, and I think I've lived a humbler life because of the disease, quite frankly. But there was a tiny bit in me.
I hear you. I hear what you're saying.
On behalf of, you know, bullies everywhere, and people just being, you know, critical and thinking they can criticize people's personal attributes, it's just not nice or right. So I just wanted to give a shout out to fellow people in the Tri-Cities with alopecia. It really did make me a better person, but
good deal.
I wanted to share my take with you today. So thank you so much for your time.
Well, Cynthia, I'm glad you did. And as I said before, I suspect you're a good person no matter how you look. And that's what really counts. It's what's in you. But I appreciate the call, and we certainly understand your position. Thanks. Bye-bye now.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Yep, bye-bye. Zeke, we're not going to get to you this morning. Sorry about that. We'll do it another time, but we've got to take our last break and then come back and close out.
It's an all-star grand opening of the Ascend Sportsbook at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort on Monday, April 4th. You can watch and wager on the college basketball final, meet Morris Peterson and other Spartan Hoops legends, plus giveaways and more. The all-new Ascend Sportsbook is your big game headquarters all year round, and it all starts on April 4th. So bring your crew. It's going. Must be 18 or older to wager. Visit SoaringEagleCasino.com for complete rules and details.
Introducing Venture X, Capital One's new travel card for people always asking,
where next?
You earn 10x miles on hotels and rental cars, and 5x miles on flights booked through Capital One Travel, and 2x miles on everything else you buy with Venture X. Plus, receive premium travel benefits like access to over 1,300 airport lounges. The Venture X card from Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Do you know what people see when they Google you? Search engines don't always
wrong. It's your reputation on the line. So what do you do when you don't agree with your search results? Call Reputation Defender at 800-401-6681. Reputation Defender is one of the most trusted names in online reputation repair. We have over a decade of experience in fixing people's search results, and we can help you too. Using cutting-edge approaches, Reputation Defender pushes unflattering information down to lower pages of your search results, where few people ever look. We also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, letting you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. To take control with Reputation Defender, visit www.reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 for free advice on your situation. That's 800-401-6681.
The WSGW Morning Team Show. Weekdays 5:30 to 9 on WSGW.
That puts another episode of the Art Lewis Show to bed for the day. We thank you for being with us, and we'll be back tomorrow. Do it all over again. Focus coming up after the news. Today we'll focus on West Side Decorating Center in Saginaw. But first, CBS News and the local report ahead. We'll talk to you right after that.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Steve Kathan. The White House says President Biden is speaking now with Ukraine's President Zelensky about continued U.S. support against the Russian invasion. CBS's Stephen Portnoy says the administration believes there may be mistrust in the Russian ranks.
Putin has felt misled by his own military. Declassified intelligence described to us by a U.S. official indicates a persistent tension between Putin and his defense ministry and a clear breakdown in the flow of information to the Russian president. The U.S. analysis concludes Putin's advisors are too afraid to tell him the truth about his military's performance in Ukraine, as well as the impact of sanctions on the Russian economy.
The Pentagon says the scale back Moscow has talked about is more like a troop repositioning. CBS's Deborah Pata is in Ukraine.
Even if the Russian military makes good on its promise to pull back from Kyiv, around the capital where fierce battles have been raging, to fight for. And while Ukraine claims to have taken back nearby towns like Irpin, those areas have been decimated. Many did not make it out alive.
The UN's Alex Mund in Poland says the war has caused more than 4 million refugees to flee Ukraine.
It's hard to describe what 4 million people totally traumatized by war looks like, or feels like, and what it means for their future when 6 weeks ago they were living a completely normal life and now they're completely uprooted.
A Senate Republican has come out in favor of Ketanji Brown Jackson's Supreme Court nomination. CBS's Scott McFarlane on Capitol.
This morning, Senator Susan Collins says, quote, after reviewing Judge Jackson's extensive record, watching much of her hearing testimony, and meeting with her twice in person, I've concluded she possesses the experience, qualifications, and integrity to serve on the court.
It could be a punishing afternoon in much of the Deep South thanks to a powerful storm system.
Anytime afternoon is where you're going to be seeing the strongest storms. It's Tennessee, it's Mississippi, it's Alabama, it's Louisiana, and it's even a little bit of Arkansas as well.
CBS News meteorologist David Parkinson says there was damage this morning in northwest Arkansas. Officials in Pennsylvania now say 6 people were killed in that big fog on an interstate on Monday. American astronaut Mark Vande Hei completing a U.S. record 355 days in space, successfully returning to Earth. Rob Navius of NASA describing it.
The Soyuz was pulled over onto its side, which is not unusual, by the wind conditions at the landing site. But the landing conditions were near ideal for late March.
The Dow is down 15 points. This is CBS News.
There's always something new under the sun. CBS Mornings, weekdays on CBS.
The will of a farmer, forged by the strength of generations past, propelled by the hope of what lies ahead. Unpredictability cannot shake its resolve. It wears a coat of courage and commitment, boots made of love for the land. At BASF, we support you with tools for tomorrow, New chemistries, seed traits, and technologies. Because we know the world's future will be fed by the will of a farmer. BASF, helping you do the biggest job on earth.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to you. Other companies might deliver a lot of hay. ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/trial. That's ZipRecruiter.com/trial.
Do you know what people see when they Google you? Search engines don't always get it right. And when they're wrong, it's your reputation on the line. So what do you do when you don't agree with your search results? Call Reputation Defender at 800-401-6681. Reputation Defender is one of the most trusted names in online reputation repair. We have over fixing people's search results, and we can help you too. Using cutting-edge approaches, Reputation Defender pushes unflattering information down to lower pages of your search results, where few people ever look. We also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, letting you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. You owe it to yourself to take control with Reputation Defender. Visit www.reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 for free advice on your situation. That's 800-401-6681.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
36 degrees at 11:05. Good morning, I'm Rick Antonio. Michigan State Police are conducting an internal investigation and have suspended a state trooper after an incident involving the alleged use of excessive force during a traffic stop in Saginaw on Monday evening. State troopers pulled over 47-year-old Vance Martin around 7:15 near 17th and Ansley and ended up arresting him, including assaulting, resisting, or obstructing police and operating while intoxicated. He was released Tuesday without being arraigned. Before he was taken to jail, someone at the scene recorded a video which shows Martin being punched in the face multiple times while handcuffed. It's been posted and shared on social media. State police say they have strict policies that prohibit use of force that is objectively unreasonable or excessive in any scenario. The Saginaw County Prosecutor's Office says it expects to receive results of the investigation once complete, but will likely turn it over to the Michigan Attorney General's office to avoid any appearance of impropriety. The Saginaw Transit Authority Regional Services is its request to use an abandoned facility to store some of its new incoming fleet. STARS has offered 19 new buses in its current facility at North Warren and Johnson, saying that it does not have space for all of them. The agency is looking at the old Civitan Recreational Center at North Warren and Wadsworth, hoping to utilize the parking area for some of its vehicles. Officials say the facility could also become a paratransit center for lift operations or a new training base. The decision on using Civitan rests with Saginaw City Council, which will examine the issue Monday. The request for the Civitan Center follows Potter Street train station for use as a bus transfer station. STARS has applied for American Rescue Plan Act funding in order to expand in either location. In honor of Child Abuse Prevention Month in April, Can Council and Michigan Sugar have partnered to present events and activities to engage the community. Child Abuse Prevention Month is a nationwide initiative that challenges communities to examine the impact of child abuse and what can be done to prevent it. Starting April 5th and continuing through the month, several programs will be available to the public for participation, including presentations on better parenting, internet dangers, and more, ending with the Can Council's annual pinwheel planting on April 21st. For more information and a full, you can call the Can Council at 989-752-7226 or visit cancouncil.org/2022 CAPM. WSGW News Time 11:07.
Are you ready for retirement? Well, Jason and Carl Kreiderman with Great Lakes Investment Advisors have a new book that can help make retiring easier. In Empower Your Retirement, they talk about how a well-thought-out financial plan can make the difference between just surviving and thriving in retirement. Using everyday language, this book explores how a simple process can help you cover all the bases of your financial life, including how taxes can affect your retirement and much more. Your finances are Empower Your Retirement is written to help you understand the must-dos to prepare for the retirement you desire. Of Empower Your Retirement by calling 989-848-1188. That's 989-848-1188. And for more on retirement planning, tune into Jason and Carl's radio show, Your Financial Empower Hour, every Sunday morning at 8. Firm provides insurance services, investment advisory services offered by Great Lakes Investment Advisors, Inc., a registered investment advisor firm in the state of Michigan. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal.
WSGW News Time 11:08. BA2 is the predominant strain of COVID-19 across the country. Expect another surge from this Omicron variant. Here's Dr. Deanna Lights.
Dr. Dennis Cunningham is Medical Director of Infection Control and Prevention for Henry Ford Health.
We are having the same course that Europe had. We're somewhere between 3 and 4 weeks behind the surge in Europe, and their levels are starting to peak now and actually going down in about half the European countries. I do think it's possible we're going to have an increased number of cases. I do not think it's going to be as bad as the other surges we had.
Dr. Cunningham says this is a great time to get vaccinated and boosted. Tuesday, the FDA okayed a fourth dose of the Moderna 19 vaccine for those age 50 and older.
Again, that's Dr. Deanna Lights. 6 students in the Saginaw Valley State University's Roberts Fellowship Program are working to raise funds to improve conditions at the Bay County Animal Services and Adoption Center. They invite the public to attend a Carnival for the Cattery fundraiser this Saturday from 9 to 1 at the Bay County Fairgrounds in Bay City. The carnival will feature a variety of games, including giant Jenga, cornhole, ladder golf, and more. Each game is $3 to play, but there's no cost to attend the event. The students hope to raise $400 to purchase materials and items for the cattery at the adoption center. They also plan to volunteer their some improvements to the cattery. Bay County Animal Services will also carnival. When you see news happening, call the WSGW newsroom at 752-0790. It's 1110. I'm Rick Antonio.
Here's your WSGW weatherology forecast. We'll see a few scattered rain showers here for today with cloudy sky conditions and a high into the mid-50s, while winds out of the southeast around 10 to 20 miles per hour, gusting as high as 25. Then for tonight, a chance for rain, cloudy, and temperatures holding rather steady. By Thursday, chance for rain early on, cloudy skies, temperatures steady early, then slowly fall throughout the day. Cloudy, high of 42. By Saturday, partial sunshine develops, a high around 48, and Sunday, partly sunny skies, high around 49. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki with the WSGW weatherology forecast. Currently, it's 35.
Now, it's time to focus as WSGW presents the people, the places, the businesses, the culture, the area events and activities, all put into focus on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online W.
And a good morning. Welcome to another edition of Focus here on WSGW, brought to you by Roof Max, the safe, proven, and affordable alternative to expensive asphalt shingle roof replacement. Find out about Roof Max online at roofmax.com or call Ben at 989-859-6791. That's Roof Max with 2 X's. I'm Art Lewis from my Saginaw Spirit Home Studio. And today we're going to focus on West Side Decorating Center in Saginaw. And with us from West Side Decorating, Mike and Sonia. Mike, good morning to you.
Good morning, Art.
Good morning. And Sonia, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Let's start, Mike. The weather eventually is going to be nice. At what point in this transition from winter to spring to summer can we start thinking about doing outside painting and deck work?
Sure. Yeah, you're like you said, we're just waiting on that warm weather, a little moisture to get out of the exterior surfaces. So that's a big thing that we look for is not only temperature, but making sure that the substrate you're painting, whether it's a deck or siding, is dry enough to accept the paint. So we're looking usually, sometimes we can get into the late part of April if we have nice weather. Usually in Michigan, it's pushed into May before siding and fences and exterior projects.
So I guess I was remiss in not asking the first question I always ask. What's new at Westside Decorating Center?
Well, as I think a lot of people know, and we've talked on the show here, we are doing a little renovation project. We're expanding our showroom and our storage areas. So we're working on that really hard. Hope to have that done maybe the next 6 weeks or so. A lot of progress going on over there. We just want to make everything look really nice when everything opens up.
And you say a little expansion. I've been in there, folks. It's a doubling because you took all the space that was next door to you that was the Saginaw Spirit offices. So you really are increasing the size of your store, aren't you?
We did. Yeah, this will be about a 4,000 square foot expansion. It will allow us to spread out, maybe have a few new product offerings in the future, and just be able to service this community even better than we did before. So we look forward to that.
And more storage space. I can say it. More storage space too for paint and rugs and all that good stuff. Flooring.
Sure. Yeah. With the raw material shortages that everybody's seeing right now, we're kind of in the mindset to stock up on everything so we don't run out of anything. So this will give us a little able to make sure we never run out of any products.
Sonia, what's new in your half of the store? The flooring and all that good stuff.
Oh, yeah. I'm excited to say we've got a lot of new displays coming on flooring. So look for that in the next couple of weeks. But right now we're getting a lot of new spring fabrics in for draperies and upholstery and a lot of new wallpaper books with the newest colors and design trends.
There's a couple of things there. I've got to ask about draperies because, one time they were really popular. Then they seemed to... You didn't hear much about them at all. Are they making a resurgence?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. It seems in the last couple of years they have, and it sort of skipped a generation because we went to just kind of a blind on your window or a shade.
Yeah.
Now we're doing the layering effect again. So it may not be as elaborate as what we've done in the past, but I do see it maybe getting towards that direction. Right now we're doing a couple layers, so shades and side panels, or even full clothing draperies are becoming quite popular again.
And you can do it all with a window, right? Everything from bottom layer to top layer. You can handle it all.
Absolutely, yes.
Including installation?
And we have the best installer in town.
I was waiting for you to say that. I knew you would. And of course, the best decorators who can come to the house and help, right?
Of course. You can always call up here and ask for Jenna, Marsha, or myself.
And is that service just a free service part of the package, so to speak?
Yes, we do offer complimentary design consultation. So maybe you've added a new room on or just renovating and not sure what to do with your windows or flooring. We'll actually come out and take the measurements and present you with ideas, not just scrambling through thousands of samples and options. We really try to narrow it down and streamline the process for you.
And that includes flooring and carpeting, right? Because you have an extensive line of carpet.
Correct, from the floors to the ceiling.
All right, we're going to take a break. Come back. We'll talk to Mike about what's new in paint and all that good stuff. Westside Decorating Center at State and Weineke in Saginaw. More with them when we return.
We're proud to make Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. Proud to be found in your kitchen, the heart of your home. And it doesn't really matter what you make with Pioneer Sugar, whether it's with our granulated white, light brown, or soft confectioners. It's the memories you'll make using it that will matter the most. Pioneer Sugar, pure and all natural, made from sugar beets grown right here. What could be sweeter than that?
Update your home with great flooring from Menards. With hundreds of flooring options and top brands like Tarkett, you'll find the perfect flooring to give your home a fresh, new look. Laminate flooring is durable and scratch-resistant. Sheet vinyl and vinyl plank are waterproof and easy to install. Get 11% off everything, including Tarkett flooring, now at Menards. Good through April 2nd. Savings are mail-in rebate. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Save big money at Menards.
Do you promise to love, honor, and cherish, forsaking all others?
I do.
I do.
And now, by the power vested in me, I now pronounce you roommates. Go forth.
That's not the vow you took. But if struggles with CPAP have you and your spouse sleeping in separate rooms, it might be time to look into Inspire. Inspire works inside the body with just the click of a remote. That's right, just a button. No mask, no hose, just sleep. Inspire. Sleep apnea innovation.
Talk to your doctor to see if Inspire is right for you. Review important safety information at inspiresleep.com.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
Why are you paying full price when you know that you can save money at RocketGrabPlus.com? You can check out our deals right now from Salon Blue Day Spa and Boutique, 120 Fitness, Uplift Creative Center, Woody's Hot Dogs, Wonder Burger, King's Fish and More, and the Hamptons Boutique Tanning and Salon. Half off? Yeah, it's true. And it's all at RocketGrabPlus.com.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
Do you owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes? Are you being audited or investigated? Has the IRS sent you a letter demanding payment? You may not owe what they claim. Make this free call to the tax doctor now. Let them negotiate with the IRS on your behalf. Call 800-631-9123. 800-631-9123. That's 800-631-9123.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Hi, this is Mike Avery. You know you can hear my outdoor magazine show Sunday mornings, 9 till noon on WSGW. But now there's another option. Saturday morning, 6 till 9. Tune in for the latest outdoor news and information, hunting and fishing tips, wildlife and conservation issues, even some wild game cooking. That's Outdoor Magazine now on Saturday mornings too, 6 till 9, right here on WSGW 790 AM and 100.5 FM.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Showroom and Design Center Studios, you are listening to 100.5 and 790 WSGW.
And we are back with you on Focus, talking to Mike and Sonia from Westside Decorating Center, State and Weineke in Saginaw, undergoing renovations right now. There will be a big expansion, and I'm sure we'll be hearing more about that down the road. Mike, let's talk about paint. Anything new in the painting area these days?
Yeah, so we just brought in a couple new paint sprayers. So if people are looking for equipment, that's kind of a new category for us. We've got like a residential style sprayer that would work for if you're doing several rooms in your home or a big basement or pole barn project. And then we also have like a small handheld sprayer that I used personally a couple months ago to do some cabinets and doors. And for the cost, it's very efficient, very easy to use, and saves you a lot of time, makes everything look really, really great.
Now, are these electric plug-ins? Do you need a compressor? How do they function?
Yeah, so both of these will plug right into your wall, and then they're both like an airless unit. One is made by Airlesco, the other by Wagner, and like I said, really easy to use, easy to clean, and they give you such a good look, on cabinets and doors that sometimes you can't achieve with, paintbrush or a roller.
Let me ask about using that versus a paintbrush and roller. If you're going to do a wall, for example, and I take a roller and I roll the wall, or I take this sprayer and I spray the wall, am I using the same amount of paint roughly?
Usually using more in a sprayer just because of the inner workings of the sprayer. Usually you're going through a hose, so you're going to lose a little paint in the hose compared to, a brush and roller. So we usually say, bigger projects, sprayer is more efficient because it's faster, even though you might, waste a little paint. But if you're just doing like a wall, usually brush and roller would be, a little bit faster, easier cleanup than a sprayer.
Do all the paints work in the sprayers? Can you use ceramics in them, for example?
Yeah, you can use ceramics. They're obviously a lot easier than an oil base would be through a sprayer. So we usually recommend a water base through a paint sprayer. You can just clean up with soap and water when you're done. You just run that mixture through, and it'll clean out all the hoses and all the tips and everything, and you're good to go for next time.
Let's talk for a minute about specialty paints. And I think back to the days when Ralph Lauren had his line of paints. He got out of the paint business, but another company picked up those products, and you carry them, don't you?
Yeah, so we've got a substitute product for one of their most popular products, which was their suede finish. So imagine, a leather look or a suede look on your wall or in the whole room. That look was very popular, and it's becoming very popular again. So we have that product in stock. We can do any color. We have it in quarts and gallons, very economical, very easy to do. It's just a two-step application. The first coat is rolled on like a regular paint, and then the second coat is brushed in an X pattern, and that gives you that variation of color. You see highs and lows, lights and dark of whichever color you pick. It's a very, very unique look, and if you want to see it, you can stop in the store. We've got lots of samples to look at.
Is there anybody making any of the metallics like Lauren used to have? Where you had metal-looking paint? Do you have an answer?
Yes, we do have a couple. We do, yeah. I was going to say we have a couple distributors that do make metallic paints, and we have some that are pre-mixed metallics that come in as small as like a 6-ounce jar if you just need it for a small project. And then we have other manufacturers that make quarts and gallons if you're doing walls or exterior projects. So we should have you all set on those.
And let's talk about cleanup. You've got tarps. You've got all the stuff someone would need to protect and then clean.
Oh, sure. Yep. Tarps, spackling, painter's tape, of course, brushes, rollers, pretty much anything you need from start to finish on the paint project.
And are you still carrying Wet and Forget in their product lines?
We are, yeah. That Wet and Forget is a very unique mold and mildew and algae cleaner for outside. So if you have that green moss or algae on your siding of your home or on your sidewalks or your driveway, it's a mixture you just mix with water, put it through a garden sprayer. You basically do what the product says. You wet the surface, and then you forget about it because the rain will actually activate the product and wash away that mold, mildew, algae, and it lasts, one application lasts for sometimes up to about a year or so.
Will that work on decking and stairs that have turned green like that?
It will have a area like that, though, that you want to maybe remove algae or mold mildew right away. We have a product called Joe Max that mixes with, it's a cleaner that mixes with bleach and water, and that would remove that filth, right away, basically, rather than wait for the Wet and Forget to work. So if you have a graduation party or something coming up, I would use Joe Max over Wet and Forget.
All right. Sonia, how do we contact you for your services and for more information?
You can always stop in our store. We're here Monday through Friday from 9 to 5:30 and Saturday 9 to 3. Or you can call us at 989-793-6182.
And Mike, is there a website?
Yep, westsidedecoratingcenter.com, live chat feature if you need to contact us during the day, and then, of course, phone number contact and all that other good stuff on there.
All right, we'll be talking to you down the road, and it's going to be time pretty soon to do an hour show, too, to help people with their painting projects. So we'll talk to you.
Sure.
All right. Mike, Sonia, thanks for being with us today. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yep. Have a good one. Bye-bye now. Mike and Sonia from Westside Decorating Center, stayed at Weineke in Saginaw. We'll be back to close out after these notes.
While you're comfortable inside your home or business, the weather takes a toll on your roof. Wind, rain, hail, UV rays, and the heat of the sun cause premature